everyone, my name is Irina. Welcome to my podcast, You Are the Portal. This is my very first episode, so thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I am a quantum consciousness blogger, if you do not know that already, and I'm currently located in Australia. Now, I am known to research into a lot of strange, different sort of off-grid topics that are interesting, intellectual, and very empowering, actually. And I assure you that there is something for everyone in this. It might not seem like it, but there's an aspect of yourself that this will appeal to. You might not be consciously aware of it, because I really delve into higher states of reality, multidimensionality, quantum reality, the unseen sciences, and seeing the world through an energetic lens. And I'm not here to force you what to believe. Some people just ain't ready for it, and that's fine. I don't care if this reaches 1 million people or if it doesn't. I just needed to reach the people who are ready to hear this information and who are genuinely seeking for it, because they are the ones that will be activated by the things that I do talk about. And you might follow my Instagram, Irina Diva. Some of you have, I know, followed me for like a few years now. 4 years, I think I've been doing it. If you don't follow me already, please do. Irina Diva, IRENADIVA. I'm almost finished doing the website for this, youaretheportalpodcast.com. It's slowly coming together. I just thought that I would get these videos out there onto YouTube and also the BuzzSprout podcast platform. And I was also hesitant to do video, to be honest, because I really wanted to do the traditional non-video podcast. I used to do radio back in the day, but it really seems that you can use the video on a wider range of platforms, because it's almost like it's a little bit more interactive, and there's a lot of people who are very visual. Now, I have wanted to start this podcast for a very long time because it has been so highly requested, but I honestly felt like I had to reach a certain level of grounding before I really got into this, because I really wanted to do this properly and very genuinely. I think that these kinds of topics, you have to be very responsible. I think you need to be aware that you're passing on information which is quite powerful for the soul journey. And some people, if they're not ready for it, it can actually sabotage their journey, or it can open them up to some of the negative influences. When we talk about esoteric wisdoms, when we talk about occultism, these aren't biased to good or bad. They are what they are, and it is up to the person using it, or the body of people using it, to use it through a certain intention. It can go either way. And I have seen people go down this path. I've seen people fall from their grace when they've started to speak about it publicly, and I have seen people excel, rise up, and evolve in the most beautiful ways. And I'm not here to market anything to you. I'm not here to sell anything to you. I'm just doing this because this is really what I feel is part of my mission, and I'm really here to share a lot of truths that exist. And I invite you to really open up your mind to the power of multidimensionality. This is all very real stuff. It's actually quite scientific on many levels, but it's, I think, in a category of science that they just don't understand. It's like a phenomena, and it's sort of put into a box and put to the side because it's really just filled with anomalies, and science doesn't really know how to work with any of that. But it needs to be spoken about, and it needs to be explored. And the purpose of me doing all of this is because I genuinely want to help humans reach their fuller potential through the incorporation of understanding consciousness and all things that come from a multidimensional perspective. Because yes, you are a multidimensional being of resonance. You are. There is a deeper part of you that also knows that, and you'll be able to connect with it if you go into older states of consciousness. People who like to experiment with certain plant medicines and things like that, they will be able to tap into it. Natural psychics will be able to. Highly intuitive people will be able to. Everyone is. It's just whether you're consciously aware of delving into maybe more than a linear reality. That's when it becomes a different level of realization for people. And to be honest, I don't think you know what real power is until you can say that you have truly explored these things in your own consciousness and experience here. And as a woman, I want women to know that they can speak up about this stuff, intelligent stuff, and be taken seriously. Which is one of the reasons that I chose a jaguar for my logo, because I wanted people to know that this is not about me. This blog is actually not about me. The world is full of vain people. I'm sorry to put it that way. It's a very self-absorbed reality in society that we are living in. You can see it through certain things in TikTok and that. And I'm not hating on any of these things. These platforms can be used for whatever. It really comes down to the individual. But you can see that how consumed people are in themselves, and getting likes and just being popular and being accepted by a large amount of people, even though it's just random people giving them attention. So I didn't want to put my face so much with this, and again, I was hesitant to do the video because this is really about the knowledge. There's a lot of people that will claim that they own this information, that they created, that they've come up with it. None of them have done that, okay? They've just extracted something which exists in the quantum field, and then they're passing it on. And that's what I want to do without claiming that I own any of this information, okay? I am a vessel and I am passing it on. And I think it's very shameful for certain people who have awoken to a certain level to claim that they have mastered and owned a portion of wisdom that's esoteric, or even if it helps people, it's great, but this comes from them. You're just giving them tools to extract that information from themselves and to be able to extract from the quantum field themselves. And if I'm using terminology that you're not that familiar with, that is okay, because in the next episode I am going to go into what different terms mean, so we are on the same page when I go forward with all of this. There's a lot of different words that I think people can interpret differently. They might have a different understanding, but I want us to be on the same page with all of that. Now, to me, for my logo, this jaguar is something that I envisioned years ago. It's really weird. It's just something that I kept seeing over and over again, sort of in my third eye and in my mind's eye, you can call it. And this jaguar to me represents not just my spirit animal, but it's the strength of a warrior and the strength and emergence of the divine feminine energy. For me, it really represents that. And the divine feminine energy is not just about women, it is about men too. Masculine and feminine energies are with both genders. It's about finding balance and restoration, because we have come out of a masculine dominated era, and that does not mean that it's just a man's world. Please do not interpret masculine energy as that. It's just a form of energy and resonance, and the feminine energy was kind of not shunned, but it was kind of pushed away and almost banished, and it's caused a very toxic imbalance within the collective consciousness. So it's time for people to start embracing that divine feminine, and I really do think it roars like a jaguar. I think that it has a fierceness but a precision about it, and that's how I want to go about things as well. I do not sugarcoat shit. I really don't. I am very honest, and I plan to talk about things that people don't necessarily want to hear. There's a lot of people who are interested in this, but they don't want to do that shadow work. They go, oh, I love all of that. Oh, but when it gets to that, nah, that's not for me. It's actually like that. I actually have people say that to me, and I feel really heartbroken. I feel sad, when I hear that, because I go, oh, so you're just interested, but you don't actually want to truly empower yourself. Okay, but again, if they're not ready for it, they're not ready for it. And I have learnt that now after a few years of blogging, because I can tell you what, for the first 2 years, I wasted so much energy with people trying to go, no, it's like this, or trying to correct me, or telling me that I was an idiot or whatever, and then you respond to them and you just lose so much energy in that process. Like, actually allowing someone to contact you and ruin your day just because of a simple comment on social media. Social media is very powerful, but it's also very toxic if you live in a reality like we do, where people are very imbalanced and really just traumas walking around the place, taking it out on each other. Now, again, I'm not doing this for any type of clickbait. I don't want to put my face on it again, because I don't want people to just associate it with me, or to have some sort of, sexualization. I had a friend say that I would get more clickbait. I don't really give a shit about clickbait. I just don't care. I want the real people who are ready to receive this. Anyway, moving on. I do want you guys to let me know what you want me to cover, but for the most part, I will be discussing things that I will be channeling, not through just my channeling of the collective consciousness, but also through world events happening at that time, things that I think that are relevant, but also very interesting things. I'm very interested in, futuristic inventions and understanding certain corruption in the world, just shedding light on a lot of different things. I do a lot of psychic work as well, so I'm going to explore into the world of psychics and mediumship, and trying to explain that this is so much more scientific than people actually think. It's not a woo-woo thing. It's incredible, and humans all have the ability to do this. Okay, we are all one. I definitely do believe in that philosophy. However, I do think that people are at different levels of soul growth. I think people have or holding on to different DNA structures, cellular structures, that has certain types of coding that can activate them in a certain way, and that might make sense to people and it might not make sense to some other people. But I really genuinely feel that some of us are here to teach, or to be a certain frequency to help heal this duality that we're in. And a lot of the problems that are going on in the world, we're going to be discussing it. I'm going to be explaining consciousness to you in where you'll be able to understand or decipher and observe people who are really experiencing duality consciousness, which is quite a low tier of consciousness, because it's quite separated. It's under that illusion of that separation. And do I think this is a prison planet? Mind you, I don't think this is actually a prison planet. I'm very well aware of where that stems from. That comes from a lot of different channeling work. It comes from people who are research channelers, such as Dolores Cannon. And I don't think it's a prison planet. I think that it's a very limited experience, in the sense where you feel that illusion, because it's a dense reality of separation of source energy. That's where it can feel limiting, and because you are unable to maybe experience or exist in the way that you have in other dimensions, in other experiences of other timelines. So interdimensional energy forms, to extraterrestrials, to timelines, to ancestral lineage, to the Akashic records. I'm going to be going into all of that, and especially the quantum field, or the informational field, which is really consciousness. It's really what we are within. Even though we are creators, we are within consciousness. It almost creates us, and then what we choose to project is the collective consciousness. But consciousness itself is much bigger than us and what we are. I am hugely about self-empowerment through this information. So I want you guys to find your alignment. I want you to heal. Healing, stepping into your divine feminine energy, restoring that balance, healing your ancestral lineage is more important, more powerful than having 100 million followers on any social media platform. It is more powerful. So if you're not good at this and you're like, I don't know how to have a podcast, I don't know how to talk about this, that's fine. It doesn't matter. The most powerful people, I can tell you, work from the shadows. They work from the shadows. You will never know their names. You will never know what they do. There are people like that who exist here, who just have that kind of work. For me, this is just a service. I don't feel like I am higher than other people. I really don't. I'm doing this out of love, compassion, and service. This is why I am here, to help with this. If I can be used as a vessel in any way to help communicate things or help people, then I'm happy with that. And as you go through your awakening, you will have all these different questions that you're going to ask yourself, that you're going to be confronted with. You know, what am I supposed to be doing in all of this? Everyone has their part. Everyone has their alignment. And that's all you really need to worry about. You don't really need to worry about fixing the world, because if you are helping fixing yourself, you are helping fixing your ancestral lineage, you are helping the loved ones around you, you are helping your part in how you impact the collective consciousness. So again, I'm going to be responsible as I can with this, but I'm going to be really straightforward. And sometimes when I'm straightforward, it's going to be like the jaguar, which is going to sort of cut very precisely, and so you guys can see. One thing I just want to get out there, I do not support the flat earth theory or the dome theory. It's not something I do in my work. I think it's a cancer within the conscious community. So I'm sorry, but that's what it is. So if I have comments, people contacting me about that, you won't get anything from me, because I have absolutely no interest. I think that it sadly sucks a lot of people in who are starting to wake up, and they get mesmerized by this theory, and it stumbles them actually in the sense where they start to close off to understanding the energetic relationship with the planet, with spherical shapes. I mean, the sphere being just one of the most powerful esoteric geometries worshipped for such a long time too, through a lot of ancient civilizations. It's, you know, obviously the world is not a perfect circle or sphere. It is slightly oblong, but it's just the whole spherical nature of things like that. So if you guys have questions about this, again, talk to me. You like, talk to me about Tesla. I want to know Tesla, or let's talk a little bit about sacred geometry. We can do that, and I can get into it. Let me know. And the ones that are more popular, the ones that I feel like are really relevant, I will definitely bring those ones up and answer questions. And then I will have certain sessions where I just answer your questions that people maybe send in to me. The Instagram is what I choose the most right now, but there will be an email which will be associated with my website, which you'll be able to forward stuff like that too. So I also want to speak to you guys about my journey, how it kind of happened, and I'm going to elaborate on what I have spiritually experienced in this timeline, the hurdles that I've come across, things that I use to deal with it, different realizations, and the different ages that I experience things. And again, I don't think that anyone has one awakening. I think that people have multiple pivotal moments in their life where they evolve into different chapters, up, 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 Sometimes they plateau for a while. I think that most humans have not actually reached the stage of a proper awakening. I think that they have opened the door, but they haven't walked through it. The door's not fully open, and there's many other doors that are down the track. And you don't have to strive to understand everything in this dimension. That is probably one of the biggest things that I really want to emphasize. It's okay if you don't understand everything. I'm going to try and help you give some clarity. I'm going to help just talk about things that I'm passionate about and into, which you might also be into as well. Maybe you don't have anybody else that you can talk to about these things. There's so many people that I know. I've had celebrities message me and go, I don't have anyone else to talk to about this. Everyone thinks I'm crazy, or they're not honest with themselves where they're at the point of talking about this openly. So it's a real thing. I'm sure that there's some of you going, yep, that's me. I'm alone. I feel lonely. You are never alone, but I totally get the feeling lonely part, especially when you're still connecting to your multidimensional self. I mean, really, truly recognizing and accepting that you are a multidimensional being of resonance that goes through waves of experience and evolution, your own soul growth. You merge with it a little bit more and a little bit more each day. That is where you will find your power in healing and in becoming aware that you are a being of resonance. You are multi-dimensional. If you try and analyze everything from this perspective, this linear third dimensional perspective, and you try and fit everything into this mold that you have that you can comprehend, it's quite limited, so you will never fully understand them. The way that you will increase and expand your awareness is by merging with the aspects of yourself which are higher resonating in other dimensions. You can merge that here like umbilical cords. That's the same with your ancestral energy. It's like an umbilical cord. It's there in the quantum field. It's still existing. Anything that happens in the past, in the future, these are just existing in the quantum field. They're just stored. It's like a computer base. It doesn't go away. The past doesn't go away. It's still there. But because through this holographic nature that we live in, you can actually reprint. But we'll get into that into another topic. A lot of people have asked me, when was your awakening, Irina? What was it that really woke you up? And what age? And I'm probably going to go into that, I think, in my next episode, transitioning on from this one. I'll really walk you guys through my journey when I started to experience things. And again, I will be emphasizing that there is no one awakening. If you were fully awoken, you wouldn't be in this dimension anymore. Okay, so the other thing that I also want to really emphasize again is I do not want people to feel like they have to escape this reality and go into 0 point. There's a lot of people who are high resonating who go into 0 point and they sort of spend too much time there. What is 0 point? We'll get into that into one of the next episodes where I break down different terminology and what they mean. So I don't want people to escape this planet. I don't want people to be on here thinking they have to escape this place because they hate it so much. Trust me, when you hate, like, I know, I can totally understand that. There's really days where this reality was so hard to receive, even as a child, that I really didn't want to be here anymore. But it is responsibility, and there is beauty within this experience, but then there is also suffering and the experience, the human experience of being in a lower resonating dimension. It is an incredible experience. It truly is. My journey has definitely not been smooth sailing at all, but I'm here today and I'm glad to be. I'm just happy to be here, being able to speak my truths. And, you know, people have said to me, is there really an absolute truth though? There actually is. It's just multiple truths equating to an absolute truth. And that is reinforcing the fact that we are also in that multidimensional reality. And as you merge more with these higher aspects, you will be able to see a broader perspective of everything you come across in life. You won't just see from your perspective and your lens. There's multiple that you will be able to tap into. And it's incredible. So I'm excited for everyone to stick with me on this, and let's do this. It's been such a long time coming for me, so let's just do this. Let's talk about it. Let's get this real stuff out. And I don't associate myself with the New Age movement. I don't consider myself to be a conspiracy theorist. I do delve into a lot of those topics because they're off-grid, but I wouldn't say that I'm a New Ager. I really wouldn't call myself that, because I know that certain New Age movements do support things that I don't. So thank you so much for tuning in with me today. I'm really excited about this new venture, and it's going to get bigger and bigger, and hopefully I'm going to get it onto more platforms, Spotify, and all of the really big ones. And I hope to also put it through Forbidden Knowledge TV as well with Billy Carson. I know he's already asked me to do that. So thank you guys, much love, and I will see you guys in the next episode.